Hey, you guys, Sean with Go Gloves here, and welcome back to episode 9 of my podcast, Spittin Seeds. Joining me today is a fellow glove collector known as Peaceandlovegloves on Instagram, Jaden Leon. Welcome to Spittin Seeds, bro.
Thank you, Sean. How you doing today?
I'm fantastic. Dude, I got to say, first off, the flow, I am digging it. Like,
I
no way do I
appreciate
have
it.
that much courage nor patience to grow something out like that.
Yeah, so I've always had long hair, but right when quarantine started, that was a perfect time to see how long like it could actually get.
Mm-hmm.
And so I decided very early on I want to donate it to like turn into a wig,
Yeah.
but you need 10 to 12 inches to
Jeez.
donate it. And I don't want to cut it all off and
Yeah.
like have a shaved head. So it's gonna get really long, but
How,
it'll
I
be
mean, how
fun.
long has it been since the last cut?
Oh, I got a cut in February, but they only took like an inch off. When they're
Okay.
cuts, they're not big cuts.
So
Not
your hair's
risking
been
that.
like that for a while, huh?
I would not this long. It's usually like back here and flips up, but
Oh,
as
it's like a
quarantine,
flow.
it kept growing down. It was a flow.
Yeah.
It
You
was a
ever
nice flow.
you ever thought about a mullet? Just shaving off
I
the sides?
I did, but then when I realized I wanted to donate it, the sides were so short and like the back was growing long, it would be
Yeah.
unproportional.
It wasn't gonna work at all.
No, but and it's just such a big risk once you shave that one buzz,
Oh,
it's all
you can't
over.
go back.
Exactly.
You're coloring outside the lines, you can't erase it.
Exactly.
Yeah, but anyways, dude, I'm super excited you're here because like on Instagram you don't really show your face, like you're not super out
Now
there.
I think
So
I
it
think I've gotten live twice,
Yeah. So
maybe.
it's cool to like do stuff like this because now, I mean, we've done deals and stuff before, but like the way we've communicated, it's just like, oh, I shipped your
Text,
glove,
yeah,
thanks. And not that it's like disingenuous, but it's just kind of like going through the motions. It's like,
yeah.
thanks, like I got the glove, like stuff like that. So I mean, it's good to actually know you. So I mean, outside of gloves, like what I mean, even for me, but also the viewers, like what should we know about you? Just straight up, like what
Um,
kind of person are you?
Freshman in high school.
Swag.
Uh, Before gloves, I was big into streetwear and sneakers, like most 14-year-old,
Yeah.
13-year-olds are. I play guitar. I like music,
Nice.
and that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because like I feel like I only know you about gloves, and honestly, we have a lot of the same interests. Like I like gloves, but I also like sneakers and streetwear, like you. I have a Travis Scott hoodie on right now.
Fire.
Most people can't see it, but yeah, I don't have as many sneakers, but that's something I would want to get into.
I resell, so I only have like 9 now, but there was a point where I had like 14 that I just constantly wear.
Jeez. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess you have a couple streams of income if you resell gloves and sneakers.
Yeah, so that's pretty much I got a lot more into collecting gloves. I'd
Hmm.
say probably since like April or May.
Yeah.
So I've gotten pretty lucky getting a few sneakers that go for a lot of money. So I've been able to take that money and put them into gloves I collect and still be able to flip and have some sort of a constant income.
Yeah. I mean, going off collecting, like most people like sneakerheads, that makes a ton of sense because everyone has sneakers. But like, I feel like gloves is just such an odd thing. Like,
It's
and there's so many different ways to get into it. So, like, how'd you even get into gloves?
oh, I was asked this a few weeks ago, and I really had to look back on my phone.
Yeah.
But I think it was someone. Well, I think it started probably I was like 11, and I was getting my first like big glove.
Hmm.
I think I ended up getting. I have it up there somewhere. An Altuve, his first game model A2000. And so I did a bunch of research because, like, $200, I'm not just going to want to throw that into the
Yeah.
ocean and let it go away. But so I looked that up. I think I ran into Coachella Gloves, Jackson's Instagram,
Yeah.
and NDO or ND0 Gloves on YouTube. And that kind of sparked me. And now we're like 32 gloves deep.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. And it's funny you say that, like, it's hard to remember what like kind of gets you into gloves because when you're first like living it, you don't think
You
that
don't
you'll
think
be
it's going
having
to turn
32
into what
gloves
it's going to
someday.
be.
So you
Yeah.
don't actually like landmark what you're actually going through. It's just like
I
a
there
blink
were
of an eye and
there were
32
a
gloves
few
later.
times where I landmarked it. Like I remember I stayed home sick from school. I think I had like a 99.5 fever,
Hmm.
really on the border, just did not want to go in.
Yeah.
And I was chilling on eBay, right? And I saw a Sweet Lou new with tags in
Hmm.
2019, so it wasn't like what it is now, for
Yeah.
$500. And so I was messaging the guy on eBay and he was bidding. I'm like, yo, can I just straight up buy this? He's like, no, but you can come to our store. His store is like 45 minutes away. So I'm like, Mom, here's all my birthday money. Can we go drive there?
No
And we
way.
took the trip, and that's how I got the Sweet Lou, which really kicked my collecting off.
Yeah. What was the first glove that you ever like that got you into collecting?
I guess it would be the Sweet Lou.
Yeah, that's probably what I figured, but I mean any reason? Did you see it somewhere?
No, I saw it on What Pros Wear. They did. I
Okay.
think there was an article a while back about like their like top gloves of whatever year, like 2015, and that one just stood out with like the classic vintage tan looking leather.
Mhm.
And yeah,
That's about it, huh? So what
pretty
like
much.
when you tell your mom that you're using all your birthday money and going to a store like 45 minutes away, what does she even say to that? It's like you're crazy
Well,
for
so
spending all this money.
for it was actually right. So this store, I forgot what it was called, but it was connected to a training facility that like Bobby Valentine built,
Mhm.
which was actually in her where she grew up. So she knew the area. So that wasn't the issue. She's just like, are you sure you want this? I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, from what I've seen, it'll go up in value, or I'll just have a glove to use.
Yeah.
And initially, I took the tags off right when I got home,
Mhm.
and that killed. I
Yeah.
traded it like 2 months later. But if I kept it new with tags until like today, or even like 7 months ago, would have been
So much
so much
more.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the same with shoes too. Like you being a sneakerhead, you definitely know, but like a dead stock version of a shoe versus a
Yeah.
worn pair lightly used is like such a dramatic difference.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like cars almost. Like you drive it off the lot once and
Yeah.
it's like goes down like 20% at least.
It's crazy.
But now that you have, I mean, this many gloves, what do your parents or like your friends even think about you collecting?
Um, so my parents, they thought I was kind of crazy when I told them, look, I'm gonna go trade this glove through the mail
Yeah.
and they're gonna send me. It was a pretty cool trade. I traded my lightly used Couch Catch Sweet Lou for a
Hmm.
new without tags blonde Dansby and $100. But the
Okay,
guy
that's a
sent
pretty good trade,
the guy sent the $100 in an envelope in the in the box with the shoes.
dude.
So
Yeah. To anyone listening, don't send cash through the mail.
yeah, no, not a good idea.
That's definitely not a good
But yeah,
idea.
and then when I told them I was gonna, and then after that, I bought a few. Like if I kept those gloves back in like early 2019 to
Mhm.
now, I would be so like, I got like a new without tags Hanley for 350
Yeah.
and the Jeter final season for like 200.
Yeah, you'd be
And
banking.
once they saw I had those, they kind of started to understand that this is not going to be like one of those phases that go away in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, for sure. So how long, like, through the process did you start your Instagram from collecting?
Probably 7 to 8 months after I bought a few gloves,
Okay.
just because I don't know, I just didn't think that like I wanted to put it all out there, and I
Uh-huh.
thought that like hiding behind my personal account would have been like fine.
Yeah. So I
But
guess
I'm
you
happy that,
realized that there was a glove community out there before you started your interest in gloves?
yeah, because I bought a Hanley from Boston Glove Trader,
Mhm.
and then I traded that to baseball player. That was my first like big deal.
Yeah.
And then yeah, and I traded it for the Jeter final season that I gave to my brother
Yeah.
because he's a huge Jeter fan. And so I filmed him opening it. Kid freaked out. And he's like, you should post that on Instagram. I'm like, I don't know if I want that on my personal page. He's like, I'll
Yeah.
post it for you, but go make a glove account. So a few months later, that's what happened.
That's awesome. And okay, so you're now Peace and Love Gloves, but originally you were JL Gloves for your
No,
initials.
No, I was something else before that.
or something else before that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I
So
went
what
through a few
what
name
what made the
changes.
switch and why Peace and Love Gloves?
So I was originally Ball Gloves 27 with a Z instead of an S for Ball Gloves,
Uh-huh.
just because I thought that was basic and recognizable. Then I
Yeah.
kind of got bored of just a number. It felt very impersonal because I didn't
Uh-huh.
have my name on my page anywhere.
Yeah.
So I went with JL Gloves for my initials.
Okay.
But then I found JL Glove Co. and I obviously there was confusion there. I've
Yeah.
gotten messages about them asking if I could make like a custom glove for people, and they got messages
Yeah.
about like Rawlings gold labels and Japanese Wilsons. So I switched it to Peace and Love Gloves because I'm a huge Beatles fan, and
Nice.
Ringo is he's it's like his thing. He says peace and love,
Yeah.
and I figured that a little positivity never hurt anyone. So
Yeah. I was gonna say, is there any part of a message behind it that you're trying to spread
I
with the
mean,
account?
yeah, because there's definitely like in just the world in general, not even like just the glove community, definitely a bunch of drama and just unnecessary stuff that doesn't need to be said.
Yeah,
So if we can just kind of keep peace and spread love,
for
it'll
sure.
all turn out okay.
Yeah, I mean, the glove community is a crazy place, and I've been fortunate and unfortunate to seen its ups and downs. I'm sure
Me too.
you're
It's
very
kind of
familiar.
crazy.
So,
So my first month, or one of my first months, I found out about platinum labels, gold labels.
mhm,
I bought a set of fakes.
yeah,
I swapped them onto a glove. I posted the glove, got a message from Lindsay at Rawlings, like,
yeah,
take this down or else our legal team's gonna go like ban your account.
yeah,
And I was like 13 at the time, freaking out, getting a threat. But
yeah,
and that was a whole crazy thing, and there have been a few more, but
yeah. That was definitely a crazy era. But
yeah,
I mean, for you, I think your account is basically just another platform to show off your gloves. But what's interesting to me, I know, is like some kids are just there to find other people with glove interests. Then you have the old heads that are all posting their
collecting.
gloves that they just
Yeah.
have been collecting forever, sort of like Jay. So I mean, am
Oh,
I
you're
correct
calling
in?
Jay an old head at 30?
I
Come on,
mean,
man.
older than compared to us. Come on.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, in the glove community, I would say that what do you think the average age is?
18, 19.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
compared to 18, 19-year-olds, 30 is
that's true. Yeah.
pretty much up there. So, I mean, what's been your favorite thing that you've gotten out of your account?
Definitely the people I've met. Like, never in my life did I think I'd have, I think like over 2,100 people,
Yeah,
following my page for gloves. Like, most of these people I haven't met. I think I only know personally like 10 of them.
yeah. I mean, that's
And
that's
then,
why I like doing this stuff because I get to meet you finally. I mean,
yeah,
I've sold you a glove. I've probably bought a glove from you, and we just got to do that little deal there with the Rev One X. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's good to finally meet you because I'm kind of putting my face out there with YouTube videos, podcasts, and TikToks and everything like that. But then just some kids, all you see is their gloves. So,
yeah.
um, I mean, it's good to meet the person behind Peace and
Thank
Love
you.
Gloves. So I feel like
But
that's
yeah,
a really cool thing.
definitely the people. Like, I know there've been like a few times where Rawlings just liked and commented on my posts, which
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's just their like social media team scrolling through the feed, but even
Hmm.
still. And I've met even a few like pro players like Austin Warner. He,
Yeah.
I'm a Cardinals fan, so it's pretty big for me.
Yeah. And you got to see Colton Wong repost some of your stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
still
that
can't
being your
believe that.
favorite player, that's got to be something special, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he liked my post of my game day 57. I was freaking out then. If you would
Yeah.
have told me that like 9 months later he'd be DMing you then having a full on conversation, I would have thought you were lying.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean the glove community, as I said, it's a crazy place, and you've get to see it evolve. And I mean, how has the evolution of the community been for you? Like, what's some things that stood out to you along the way?
I think it's funny to watch everyone go through their own phases of gloves. Like I've
Yeah,
done it myself. Went from like glove of the months to pro issues to like customs, which that's what I'm like. Customs and pro issues my phase now, but like just watching things gain and lose value so quickly, it's
yeah,
crazy.
for sure. And like it's Man, it's so funny to see, like even looking back, I'm sure you have posts like this, but just like people maturing throughout
Yeah.
their glove page phase. Like I used to post the tracking of my gloves and be like, oh, my gloves coming in soon. And then like I remember I was talking to Joey, Great Ball Gloves, and he was like, he
Yeah.
would just post like cash, like straight cash in his hands. And he'd be like, just send me whatever. Have you had any posts like that? You like run across back or old DMs?
Old DMs I don't go through. I
Yeah.
really should. Like occasionally if I talk to someone who I've been following since like 2019, I'll scroll up.
Hmm.
But old posts, I go through my archive stories more because my
Yeah.
posts, I've only deleted one post ever. But like the stories really shows because that's like a 24-hour like snippet of what you're thinking
Hmm.
compared to a post where you're subconsciously thinking like this is going to be out there, people are going to see it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the stories definitely are fun because it gives you like the
Yeah.
live action of what is going on, where stories can kind of just be redone, and I can post a glove that I've had forever ago, but
Yeah.
like stories, you get the real live action of that.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that you've looked up to in the community?
I think definitely Jackson, and then Jackson was probably the first big guy.
Yeah.
Um, Jay obviously I
Hmm.
looked up to, still do. He's like a god among gods.
Yeah. Glove
Um,
gods.
Pretty much. Noah Lucky Gloves I looked up to a lot, and he's one of
Hmm.
my better friends now.
Yeah,
But it's just a lot of people who like I never thought like I'd be talking to them
for
because
sure.
like 3,000 followers. That's a lot of people when you look at it in
Yeah.
that way.
I mean,
And
it's interesting you say that because like now you get to kind of see like people are starting to probably look up to you and you're getting DMs from kids like
yeah,
what glove
I
should I
got the
buy? I'm starting a collection. So I mean that's interesting for me at least. I'm sure you have the same.
yeah, I got one DM. This was probably like a month ago. This was like my mama I made it moment. And this one kid, he randomly DMs me out of the blue. Uh, he's like, "Yo, I just want to say I love your account, and you inspired me to get a custom." I'm like, "Damn,
That's sweet.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean those like,
crazy,
and I don't think people realize how much like that will like make your day.
yeah, for sure." I mean, I'm still looking back at it. Like,
Yeah,
you never
like
like. I don't think you thought when you started your page, what, 2016, right? You were what, 13, 14?
yeah, I was like 14. I
Did you
was your
ever
age when I started my page.
did you ever think that someone would message you and be like, "Look, you inspired me. You're one of my favorite accounts."
No
Like it's
way.
just no. Like you see yourself at that age being a person to message someone saying that. You never expect to be on the receiving end of it.
Yeah. I mean, like even when I started my page, I was into gloves, but I didn't have any. Like I was using like old Mizunos and like old Nikes. So I
Yeah.
would just repost pictures from like what pros wear and like see the gear of like college glove days. And then
Yeah.
I finally got like my first A2000 and I just kept posting that because that's all I had. And then I got another one and then I sold the first one and it just like kept going from there. I kept reselling.
Yeah.
So it's it's been a crazy ride, but I mean, it's great for you because you've been having you've had a page for so long, and you're the age that I got that I was when I started. So I mean, you're miles ahead of me.
Yeah, I think definitely starting out when I did helped me grow my account just because you know how to act and how not to act,
Definitely.
especially because things were so different. I know like 2 years ago sounds like nothing, but the
Hmm.
glove community was so different.
Yeah, for sure.
So
But
yeah.
especially, I mean, like 2 years to a kid that's only like 14. That's like a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot, a big chunk of your
like
life.
12% of my life. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's something crazy. What do you think has been the biggest lesson that you've learned so far from the community?
Definitely. Always go through your DMs. You never want to be the guy who's like getting like 20 messages from the same kid, like, yo, yo, respond, where are
Yeah.
you? And then always like just treat people with respect because like you don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're going through. You don't know like who they are. And it's
Exactly.
just better to like respect people.
For sure. And like I think definitely online like communication is just so hard to gauge what people are actually trying to say. and
Yeah,
how
yeah.
they're saying it, because you can't tell
No
any of that
facial expressions. Yeah,
over a DM or anything. So just like I just try to be as like helpful as I can, exactly like go through DMs, answer people's questions, and that it also pays off too, because like you said, you get the people that are like, you got me into gloves, and like that's
yeah,
such a reward from actually answering them.
for sure. And then definitely the one other thing I learned is that like money is just like a dollar sign on like on social media.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter if your glove's like, Michael Jordan's minor league glove that's worth like $2 million,
Yeah.
or like, the old A900 you've had in your backpack for like 10 years.
Yep.
If it's special to you, that's what you should be putting out there.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's good for us now, because like we have platforms that we can spread these messages, and like, dude, I wish people would tell me this when I started, and I'm sure you
Yeah.
feel the same way.
Hmm.
So
Totally.
I mean, it's cool to kind of come full circle now. And not that
Yeah.
I'm trying to say I'm inspiring tons of people, but like it's still, I get to feel something that like people are looking at the
Definitely.
stuff that I
I
do.
mean,
So
especially your most recent, your Rev 1X initial review that's got like 6K views in like 2 weeks. It's
I mean,
crazy.
yeah, and it's crazy. And what's crazier is like it wouldn't be possible like if I didn't just DM you and you weren't willing, like
Yeah.
you're nice enough to let me use it. So
Well, I mean, you did send me the trainer.
yeah,
I've been bugging you about that since like December,
I mean, you're not the
last
only one.
December. Yeah.
You're definitely not the only one. So, but dude, this has been awesome. The last thing I want to do, because I haven't done this with anyone else, I've wanted to do it forever. So we have our first segment, it's hit or miss. So just I'm gonna give you some kind of rapid fire a little bit, but
All right. Let's go.
just tell me like your opinions on it. It's all baseball stuff, some glove stuff,
Copy.
some MLB stuff, everything like that. So the first one, as we were speaking of it, the Rev 1X.
I
What do
think
you
that
think
it's
about
gonna
it?
be
Is it hit or miss?
I think that it'll be a hit if they execute it correctly.
Yeah. I mean, I think
Because
their marketing is going to be a big deal for that.
definitely.
But
And I
I'm
think the pattern, as long
yeah,
as they can like, as long as it's not like a crazy, you know, never before seen like glove pattern with the breaking and stuff, as long as they keep it traditional with
yeah.
that and make
I
the
mean,
colors crazy.
that glove's definitely unique enough to speak for itself. So you
For
don't have to
sure.
do much more to it
Exactly.
than what they've already done. All right. So that's a hit on the Rev one.
That's it.
It's a
Yes.
hit for sure. All right. The next one is the shift. The shift
It's a,
in baseball. What do you think
definitely a
about it?
hit.
You for it or against it?
Totally for it. I think that, well, I'm a defensive guy to begin with.
Okay.
So I think that any strategy defensively you can put into baseball that's not taking like 2 steps to your left or backing up like a step is
Yeah.
definitely good. And it'll evolve hitters to learn how to not just try and hit the ball 20 miles in the air, but
Hmm.
it'll try and force them to like hit the ball to like execute.
Yeah. And like for me, it's not, people say, oh, it's cheating. You're using analytics like against the hitter. You can't do that. But for me, it's not doesn't give you a competitive advantage. It gives you a strategic advantage. And then
I mean,
you can just beat that with another strategy. So
isn't that why pitchers throw fastballs into certain guys compared to like curveballs to others?
exactly. I mean, that's, it's just strategy. So I'm definitely with you on that. That's a hit. We're
Yeah,
2 for 2 on hits. There we go. All right. The next one is stirrups. What do you think about
hit,
stirrups? Do you wear
definitely a hit.
stirrups?
Yeah,
Really? I'm a pants down
yeah.
guy. I'm
Nah,
a long pants kind of guy.
I wear the knickers, the long socks and stirrups.
Yeah. What do you think about dirty mids? Like do you know what those are?
I don't.
It's like it's when you have the cutoffs at the bottom, but you have like the stirrups with it. So it's not pulled all the way up. It's just like in between, like a
Oh,
fold
well
down and
then no, that's like wearing sweatpants halfway up your calves.
it's like
Not a look.
capris.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. But I will say the game speaks a lot more than what you're wearing on the field. So you
Definitely.
always got to
But you
back it
gotta
up.
gotta look good to play good.
Exactly. That is true. All right. After stirrups, we got Rob Manfred, the commissioner of
Miss.
MLB.
Miss.
Big miss. What's your least favorite thing about him that he's done,
I
maybe?
just I just think he's trying to I feel like that we need to like promote the MLB as a brand
Hmm.
more than just like a business for him.
Yeah.
Because like obviously Mike Trout, Tatis, Juan Soto, these are big guys who could be making huge impacts like on just like socially. because you
Definitely.
don't really see people walking around wearing baseball jerseys. You might see someone wearing a Yankees hat, but that's
Yeah,
just a style. You go, I guarantee you'll see someone wearing like a football jersey or basketball jersey on the street.
definitely. Yeah, I think Rob does a pretty poor job, and he kind of just pleases the owners.
Well,
So
I'm
I
happy Griffey's gonna be jumping in and helping
yeah,
out.
I'm super happy with that. And then there's the guy from the Cubs. He's joining the front
Oh
office as
yeah,
well.
I heard about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that should be awesome because he's a younger guy. And the stuff I've heard of from him, he's trying to change the game for the better.
just
So
need to be progressive and have a
yeah,
little more fun, man.
for sure. With being progressive, what do you think about robot umpires?
I think robot umpires are not. I'm 50-50 on them because
Okay.
I think the human error in baseball in general is what makes the game.
Yeah.
But it definitely gets irritating missing that call.
Yeah.
I think maybe on the bases it would be okay because I think that's a
Hmm.
little different than balls and strikes.
Yeah. I think,
But
I mean, for me, especially having a computer as a home plate umpire, because I used to be a catcher in high school. So, I mean, that would basically take away my whole job as framing and
yeah, you just have to
receiving,
sit
which
down
is
and
what
catch a ball.
catchers spend so much time on. Like, if you all you have to do is basically stop the ball any way you
Yeah,
can. If you have a computer telling you what's a ball and a strike. And also it doesn't help the hitters either because as much as you think it would, if you have a slider that crosses this much of the strike zone and they call it a
and they
strike,
call
it's
it a
not
strike.
actually hittable.
Yeah,
So, that's so I guess you're neither hit or miss on that, huh?
nah, I'm 50-50.
50-50. We'll call that a foul ball maybe. All right.
Checks out.
Now we got the bullpen cart. I've seen it in like Japan and stuff like that. I don't know
Yeah, big
what
fan,
you feel about that.
big fan.
Big fan, so it's a hit for you, huh?
Yeah,
Would you use it if you were in the bullpen?
why not?
Why not? Exactly.
Yeah,
Who do you think would be the first guy to implement it in the MLB?
Trevor Bauer.
Really? Well, he's a starter, so he'd have to come from the pin, though.
Uh, I I think that I don't know. Maybe warms up in the pen, drives down,
Oh yeah, dude, I would like
but
that. He could slap a
or
huge
like
momentum sticker on the side of it.
I could yeah, and just have a flag waving behind him.
Yeah.
Or I feel like Josh Hader could totally pull something off like
Oh
that.
yeah, that dude's pretty out there. He's pretty electric. So, dude, I think that should be a thing. Honestly,
Yeah, I
definitely,
think
that's a hit for
it'd
you,
be
huh?
pretty cool. Yeah, it's a hit.
All right, and then the last thing, I'm a big card guy. I don't collect gloves or I don't collect cards as much, but like I'm still pretty into them. What do you think about bringing back bubblegum in the packs?
I'm a card guy. I say it's a hit.
You say
I
it's a
think
hit?
that
Yeah.
I think it would be fun. Maybe they don't need to do it in every pack just with all the crazy sets that they're doing.
Yeah.
But definitely in Heritage where they're going to use the old designs. I don't know
Yeah.
why they wouldn't want to put bubblegum in it.
Yeah. And the Allen Ginter cards, which they're
Yeah,
like more of a vintage style ones.
the
That would be so cool.
Gypsy Queen.
Yeah, definitely those
Exactly.
two. I mean, you get a Wrigley to sponsor it. You put Big League Chew in there, like,
Exactly.
dude, kids are having a ball with that.
And it'll definitely, I mean, as if they're not making enough money off of cards now. I think it'll definitely help them
Yeah, I mean,
marketing
and
wise.
if they can't use the logic that it's going to cost too much to throw a stick of gum in there because they're making so
Exactly.
much on those cards.
Crazy.
But anyway, that's all we have for hit or miss. And that's pretty much wrapping up the episode. So, dude, thank you for being here. Let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah. So I'm at Peace and Love Gloves on Instagram, no underscores, no periods. And
Sweet.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I heard you might start TikTok soon. Is that how you feeling about that?
So my sister's the TikToker in the family.
Yeah,
I don't want to come in with my gloves and steal her thunder. I don't
for
think that
sure.
would be fair.
Yeah,
But I think it's definitely a thought.
we'll see for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
We
dude, thanks for
we'll
coming on. That
do a
was
few duets.
what's that?
We'll do a few duets
Oh yeah, for sure.
for
I'll
sure.
I'll, I'll get you some followers on there.
Appreciate it.
Anyways, but yeah, dude, thanks for coming on here. This was really fun.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
dude, the Rev 1X stuff has been going crazy, so I can't thank you enough for that
Yeah.
again.
I mean, you did a great
Everyone
job.
watching and listening, thank you guys. Go follow Jaden on all his channels and everything like that. And We'll catch you on the next episode.